Hey guys, today I'm doing a story time on my first panic attack. But first, go and subscribe to my other channel. I'll put the link either down below or on the screen somewhere. Last week, I think it was, I did a video on that channel on my new tattoo. And soon I'll be doing another video on it, going into more detail and the meaning of it. But I'm just waiting for it to completely heal because I had it done like 2 weeks ago, so it's still slightly scabby. But if you can't tell what it is a galaxy rose, and it took about 3 hours to do. I think it was something like that, something crazy. So let's get on with the story. So when I was 14 years old, me and my friends went down into town for a shopping day. There was about 4 of us, I think it was. I can't quite remember because it was so long ago now. It was 2007, I think it was. So quite a long time ago. And I think it was in the summer, so we were just all walking around in shorts and t-shirts. And the whole of that day in town, there was these weird men kind of around, and it felt like they were following us. I'm not actually sure if they were, but apparently to my other friends, they were following us around because everywhere we went, they'd go, and it was really, really strange. It got to the point, like a few hours later, when it got a bit too much, like they were following us too much, so we decided to go and get the bus home. Across the street, there was another man that we thought were with these men, and he was just across the road, just staring at us, just walking up and down. And at that point, I started to panic. There was something telling me that there was something that really wasn't right with me. I just suddenly went over all weird and strange, and I started getting like pins and needles in my hands, and I was like, how is this possible? Like, I'm not lead on my hands. Like, usually when you get pins and needles is because you're either led in a funny position, but no, I started getting pins and needles, and I was like, this is weird. And my hands started going into a funny sort of shape, like not a shape, but a funny position, like that sort of position. And I was like, what's going on? I can't, what's happening? And then my whole body started getting pins and needles, and I was like, what is happening? I thought I was having a seizure because back then I'd never had a panic attack before, so I didn't know what to expect. One of my friends were with me, and I started crying, and they were worrying about me because I was just acting so strange. I was completely froze, I couldn't move. And then the bus came, so we all got onto this bus, and I had to get my ticket out to show the bus driver. And my hands were all in this funny position, so I was trying to give the bus driver my ticket. And at that point, I had pins and needles all on my face, and my face was kind of froze in a weird position, so I was just stood there, like, I don't know what I looked like, and I tried to think what I looked like because my face was just froze in this strange position. So I gave the bus driver the ticket, and we all went to sit down somewhere. So at that point, every inch of my body, my eyes, my tongue, everything had pins and needles in it. And then I started hyperventilating, and I just didn't know what to do. There was these old people opposite us on the bus, and they thought I was like giving birth or something. I was crying, I was shaking everywhere. My hands at that point were clenched, completely clenched, and I could not let go of my fists. They were just clenched up, and I just didn't know what to do. So about 5 minutes went by on this bus journey, and it just got worse and worse and worse, and my friends were just there like, we need to get off this bus, we need to do something because she's just getting worse. So one of my friends went up to the bus driver, and she said, look, I don't know what's happening with my friend, I think she's having some kind of seizure, I don't know what's happening with her, like, can you stop the bus and let us off? And being a bus driver and all the policies and the procedures, he couldn't let us off the bus until he got to a bus stop. So we were just sat there. I was terrified. I just didn't know what was going on. And these boys were like, who were down the other end of the bus, had this like drink. I think it was like a fizzy drink, like Coke or something. And they came up to us, and finally the bus driver actually got to a bus stop. So we all got off, and these boys just randomly like gave me a drink of Coke. And I was like, this is weird, like, why are you doing this? Like, is this drink like poisoned or something? And I just drank some, and my friends were all like telling me like, it's okay, like there's nothing to be scared of anymore. And finally I calmed down, and that was the end of that. But by then I looked down at my arms, because they had been clenched up so tight that there was these weird lines just going all down my arm, where I don't know how that happened, but it just did. And it was really, really scary. And for the rest of that day, and probably the next day as well, my hands were shaking for ages. They just wouldn't stop. And we got back, and we told my friend's mum like what had happened, because she was some sort of nurse, I think, I can't remember, but we told her what happened and what sort of symptoms I had, and she just said, look, you've had a panic attack. And that was that, really. It was just horrible. If any of you have panic attacks, you'll know that you literally feel like you're gonna die. You're not gonna die with a panic attack. You can't die, but it feels like you're gonna die. I've had about 4 in my life. I'm quite lucky, really, because I do have quite bad anxiety. I take medication for it. I also take medication for depression as well. But no, I don't get too many panic attacks, but when I do, they're normally extremely intense. So that is basically what happened. That is my story time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please like the video, subscribe, and comment your stories on your panic attacks, and let me know what sort of things happen, because it is different with everyone. People have different symptoms. Not everybody has pins and needles. I've talked to a few people who have had panic attacks, and most of them haven't had pins and needles and all that, so I don't know if that happens with anyone else, but that's what happens with me. So yeah, let me know your stories, and subscribe and comment, and don't forget to check out my other channel and the videos. So yeah, thanks for watching.